Right, we on.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Myself, let's give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahawah, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, bahasham,
we give double honors to the elders, the apostles, the great millstone, that taught us truth and real well. The salutations to hope life, but
Get it out.
truth and all honest
Put it like
sincerity.
a
We the brothers at GMS, Kansas City, come at you another week in, week out. Prophesy the downfall of Babylon the Great, which is aka also known as America within the scriptures, and to wake up your 12 tribes, which is so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans to your real heritage, your Hebrew Israelites. So we were just talking through the spirit, and brothers were saying, hey, we're gonna go into the deliverance, man. You know, because it's coming real soon. You know, that topic has been brought up. You know, and one day we're gonna see the sky crack. You know, all these UFO sightings, y'all about to see them shoot these beams of light and picking brothers up, and it's gonna be televised, man.
That's right.
You know, so your brothers got any precepts? Yeah.
Yeah. Let me look for this real quick.
Yeah, because we close, man. We're real close. Because these sightings are increasing, and we're also getting praise and fame throughout the land. You know, that's another spirit that's been picking up.
Yeah.
Matthew 24:30. It says, "And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory."
Hey, so you're gonna see a chariot that's gonna be so big, also known as what they call UFOs. It's gonna stretch all the way across the horizon. You know, a good example is that movie Independence Day, when that big ship came through the sky. That's what the scriptures is talking about. That's the father ship that's gonna come back. You know?
Right, because the scriptures say we're going to be delivered from the land of the north. What's the land of the north? Babylon the Great, America, man.
Yeah,
all right, so Jake, they want to get all technical and sentimental on certain things we say. Like, okay, the scriptures is plain as day. We're going to get delivered. Come up out of her, my people. That's a literal voice. Figuratively, but literally, okay? Like, you know how you could just say something just to solidify the action? You know what I'm saying? Like, you say, come through the door. Well, I'm coming through the door. You kick the door in. You know what I'm saying? It's the same concept. When the angels yell, come out of her, my people, you're literally going to get beamed up out of here, okay? We used to teach that it was talking about spiritually and physically, but Micah 2:10 goes into the spiritual mindset of coming out of Babylon the Great, because it says, depart from her, this is not your rest, talking about our deeds, our actions, our mindsets. Because if you look at the rudiments of America, man, it's all about folly, okay? It's about engrafting the beast and infrastructure, all right? Perpetuating a lie and falsehood, you know, taking the yacht, you know, going down there to the state buildings and so forth, trying to be into one with Esau's conglomerate, all right? So the scriptures say, come out of her, my people, meaning a physical deliverance, because, hey, the ships are going to come and beam us up, man. That's why Esau make movies like the brother said, Independence Day, because they're trying to show you in a roundabout way that, hey, these things are coming to invade the earth, and they're already here. Like if you look at the night sky, a clear sky, you can clearly see chariots out there. Like last night, we seen chariots all in the skies, man. Beautiful sights, man. And they're getting closer, it seems, bigger, you know? So, you got more on that, bro?
Yeah, it says, and he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds.
Right, because then the scriptures go into like the last trumpet and we should be changed. Okay, it says they should shout with the descent of the trumpet of an archangel, roughly paraphrasing.
Right.
So therefore, hey, we're gonna get changed when we get beamed up in them ships. So it's not talking about getting a boat, going over there to the UK, etc. It's not talking about that, because you can flee Babylon and still get hit with another judgment, because you're gonna have various parts of the world that's gonna get destroyed by nuclear missiles, and on top of that, you're gonna have riots, you're gonna have war and anarchy in all these governments. So because you escape with one judgment, you're just gonna flee to another one, like it tells you in the book of Amos. So the key is getting delivered from here, because that's the Lord exemplifying those miracles he's gonna do among his men. That's the whole purpose. Okay, go ahead.
It said from one end of the heaven to another.
Meaning from the four winds, meaning that, hey, you got brothers that's in the Middle East, they in Africa, you got brothers in Cameroon, you got brothers all over the world, okay? Over here in the United States, the islands, you know, the Arctics, you got brothers all over the place. So we're gonna get beamed up from the four corners of the earth. Like if y'all watched that movie called The Knowing, at the end they showed you how they delivered those kids on the UFOs to escape the destruction.
they even was going into the book of Ezekiel in that book, talking about the
Chariot.
the wheel within the wheel. And that's what that movie was all about. And that's why the elder Malcolm did that video early this week talking about how these Hollywood producers, they plagiarize the scriptures. Because they read the things of the scriptures and come up with ideas to make a lot of their movies. So they'll have movies loosely based on the Bible, because the Bible really and truly is the greatest story ever told. It deals with every aspect of humanity, if you think about it. The history, wars, how to rule over a kingdom, conflicts with each other, human psychology, how people think, how women think. All of that is dealt with in the scriptures. Overcoming adversity, you know? They get that structure and how to direct their movies from the Bible. So I mean, really, if they didn't, then it wouldn't even be interesting, because it's not based on reality.
Right, like y'all know that, what is it called, the Ten Commandments with Charlton Heston? What's his name? Charlton Heston. Now, back a couple years ago, they redid the Exodus movie with this guy, Christian Bale. So why y'all see that they're recycling these biblical stories? Like, how many different versions of Ten Commandments and so forth of Jesus movies you got? Like, if you go on the Amazon Prime channel or any other those movie algorithms, and you go into like the Bible, they got several depictions of the Bible, though they all played by Edomites. But even then, you know, you got several recounts of these stories. Right. Because the Bible, like the brother said, is the greatest story ever told. One of my favorites is actually called The Prince of Egypt. Yeah, that was a dope movie, man, because the people actually looked, it was kind of accurate. They were people of color. Right, okay. You know what I'm saying? And that was the closest depiction they got to the truth. Yeah. The Prince of Egypt, man. So, yeah, man, the Most High, he knows.
Yeah, even some of those Greek mythology stories, like the Greek gods, you had the 12 Greek gods of Mount Olympus. Yep. You know, it's basically 12 main gods, and they ruled from Mount Olympus, which basically is Zion, you know, and the 12 tribes, you know. So even old mythology has taken from the scriptures, you know what I'm saying?
Well, look, the Odyssey, you know, the Odyssey, they could get that concept, even though that was plagiarized from Egypt, because if you look at the story of the virgin birth, you got Amen, you got, wait a minute, you got Tammuz, Semiramis, you got Horus, and what's the other one name? Horus and Osiris. Horus, you got Tammuz and this other guy, Tammuz and Semiramis. Then you got the Virgin Mary.
Yeah.
Nimrod,
yeah. Nimrod, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They get all those stories from ancient Egypt and ancient Babylon. So it's a recycled thing.
Yeah, it's just remixing it. Yeah. All the heathens, most of their religions is based on sun worship. Yeah. Like Ra is the sun god, you know. In Japan, they got their own version of the sun god, which is a goddess. But it's all just, it's like the same shit remixed. It's vanity.
Right. But this is the precept. This is Baruch 2 and 34. It says, and I will bring them again to the land which I promised with an oath.
Notice all these motorcycles and shit come past. They want to ramp up past the camp.
And it says here, and I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be lords of it, and I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished, man, okay? Which proves that we're going to be taken from this land into our land. And also it proves that there will be sex in the kingdom, okay? Because it says, I will increase them. Because you got to understand that, Jake, you got to get out of this mindset of Christianized heaven, man. That you go to heaven, you see these white clouds, you know, you see these white rosy-cheeked angels, and we just sitting on a fucking cloud playing harps. That's boring, man. I can't picture an eternity just sitting on a cloud playing a harp. I'll be better off playing the PS4 every goddamn day. Right. So no, man. Heaven goes into rulership, which is going to be here on the earth, because the scriptures, according to Revelation, the 5th chapter, it tells you, man, the saints, we should reign on the earth. Right. Somebody look up the definition of reign. You know, and it's going to tell you to be ruler, to be dignitaries of a particular establishment, man. Because this planet was created for the Israelites' sakes. All right? So all that madness, you got it? You got it?
The definition of reign means to hold a royal office.
There you go.
To rule as king or queen.
Like you find that in Revelation 5, bro.
The period during which a sovereign rules.
All right? And, hey, when are we going to be sovereigns? When we're delivered from the land of the north. Because we're going to actually have the power of YAHAWASHI to put these nations in subjection, man. That's what the brothers was going into. That's what the Bible teaches. That's what the Bible talks about. So for you Israelites out there that may be straddling in the fence, that don't know what this is or what that is, then you just lost in the sauce, man. And you got to get it together because, hey, we get into a time that the Most High is getting ready to seal this thing up. You know? Judgment is coming. Judgment is being brought forth in the earth. And it's getting ready to intensify times 12. All right?
Right.
Revelation 5, verse 1. And I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within, and on the backside sealed with 7 seals. And I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, who is worthy to open the book?
Nah, go to the point. Go straight to the point.
God, I'm going to go down to verse 5.
Go 5, yeah.
This is verse 5. It says, and one of the elders saith unto me, weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, have prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof. And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne and of the 4 beasts.
Go to verse 10. Huh?
God. It says, and has made us, verse 10, it says, and has made us unto our God kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth.
Go. So go up a verse and read 10 again.
God. This is verse 9. And they sung a new song, saying, thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof.
That's right. What's the seals?
Yeah, those are the scriptures not having an understanding of the scriptures being opened up.
Going into these prophecies, man, having an understanding of these prophecies. Go ahead, bro.
It says, for thou wast slain and hast redeemed us to YAHAWAH by thy blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation.
Right, that's the speckled birds, man. Right, because you got a lot of Israelites there. Take that and see, we told you white people could be saved. Because see, one thing about Jake, you got to understand, and this is how simple niggas are. When they read about Greeks or Gentiles, the first thing that come in their mindset is a white man. You know why? Because they've been taught the Bible from Edomite perspective.
Right.
Like I was breaking down in this one Jake yesterday, I said, that's a cold devil for somebody to take your book and give it back to you and make you think that they're the people.
Right.
That's heavy. That's some heavy sorcery.
Yeah.
So when Jake read about the kindreds and tongues, they don't think about, oh, well, they don't think about Chinese. They don't think about Africans. They don't think about Arabs. First thing they think is the fucking white man, man.
Right.
Because if the white man can't be saved to Jake, then nobody should be saved.
Yeah.
And you guys in that mindset, you're not going to make it, man. Because it says what? Out of every what?
God, and it says, out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation, and hast made us unto our God kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth.
Right. There you go. We shall reign on the earth. The kingdom of heaven is going to be on the planet earth, man. All right. Now you do have the heavens of the heavens, which is the heavenly abode, the heavenly realm, the spirit realm, where the Most High and the angels in YAHAWASHI dwells. But hey, the scriptures say the things that are bound on earth that should be loose in heaven. So that type of plethora and that rulership, that structure, that government structure is coming on the planet earth, man, and it's going to reign in righteousness. Okay? Go ahead.
God, and it says, verse 11, and I beheld, and I heard the voice of many angels round about the throne, and the beasts and the elders, and the number of them was 10,000 times 10,000, and thousands of thousands.
Right, man, a numerable amount of multitude of angels, man, because the angels, they're messengers. The Most High give the word, they come and they scope out the planet earth, man, and they deliver the message back to the Most High, man. That's why everything you do is being recorded. Everything you say. Scriptures go into every idle word. So them guys coming up scoffing, Sarnetta, he think that this is a minstrel show, playing games. Hey, the angels is making note on all that, man. You know? So you think you're going to come up and deal with the men of the Lord and confound them? It's not going to happen because the Spirit of the Lord is poured out upon his men. You know? And that's a beautiful thing because not everybody can receive this gospel or this word. You know?
Part proof of that is that guy that came up in the debating spirit.
Right.
And these different dudes that have came up before, we always see that. Dudes that just wrestle over questions. Scriptures talk about how they rest over Paul's letters, but you got dudes that rest on little points, insignificant stuff, just to try to make an argument, man.
Like, how can you make an argument come out of her? It's plain, it's simple, man. Matter of fact, let's get that in Revelation 18.
That proves that certain dudes just can't get it, that you argue the point of out and in, or out or to go away, like, you know, man.
Just to be contentious, because really he was gainsaying. Right. That's what they did to Jeremiah. They said, come and let us, you know, make naught of his words. So basically they was coming against Jeremiah because he was coming with the truth of the Most High. He was spreading the gospel and trying to wake up Israelites and tell them to repent. Because if not, the Babylonians are going to fall sore on you. But they was trying to gainsay. Because Jake had it somewhat good in Babylon, man. Just like in Egypt and Assyria. You always had Jake in slavery, but then again, you always had them Jakes that did favorably well. It's like in this society, you got Jakes out here that's living good, man. Jake buying Hellcats. Jake's got fucking, man. You go in nice fucking suburbs, Jake got it. Like in Texas, man. That's one of the highly populated Jake cities in Dallas, Texas. You go out to the suburbs, look like Edomitville, there's nothing but Jakes, man, well off. Driving Hellcats, Chargers, Mercedes-Benz, you know? So yeah, you always had Jake that did well off, so it made sense why they came against Jeremiah. Because they wasn't ready for that message of the end, okay?
You got a precept on? Okay. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins.
Okay, now look, let's break this down. Let's common sense. He said they heard a voice saying, come out of her. So where did this voice come from?
It had to come from the sky, the heaven somewhere.
All right, now good. So let's say it came from the heavens, from the ships, right? So what in the man's mind would make him think that's talking about getting on a plane and fleeing? Yeah. Because my thing is this: if you gonna flee, then you need to get out of here right now. Go and get the, the yacht, and go and get out of here now. Because in order for you to leave Babylon and be a citizen in Babylon, you got to get the yapper, man.
Right. Because you gotta, you're gonna have to stop. Say, hold on to that voice. Let me go buy
Let
my
me go
ticket
buy
real
a
quick.
ticket. Right.
Let me see let me price compare and see what the cheapest ticket I get. Shit, can I afford this shit? Oh no, I can't afford it right now. You're gonna have to wait, boys. Let me put that on hold for a second. It's retarded.
And show you the scripture say, blessed who read. Jake don't read, because if you clearly read the scripture above, it clearly tells you that America is going to be the time of being destroyed. So how in the hell are you going to sit up here and go do that when all the missiles are raining down? It's talking about a voice literally beaming us out of here, man. Esau shows you that in the movies. It's common sense. Keep going, huh?
And it says that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues.
All right, then. So what are the plagues?
That's the plagues coming back. All the pestilence, the missiles, fire, everything. All the destruction.
The missiles, right. So, hey, it's literally talking about we have to be delivered from the land of the north. We have to be delivered from here. That's the whole point of the deliverance, man. It's going to be televised. That's why this deliverance is going to be talked about. And in Egypt, that's going to be a thing of past, because we're going to get that, Jeremiah 16. When it tells you about how the children of Israel delivered from the land of the north, you know. So hey man, it's getting ready. It's gonna be an epic thing, man. All right. Go ahead. Somebody give me a revelation.
This is the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 16. It says, "For Yahawah himself shall descend, or YAHAWASHI shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of Yahawah. And the dead in the Mashiach shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet YAHAWASHI in the air. And so shall we ever be with YAHAWASHI."
That's right, man. And so that's that precept when it says, "Come out of her, my people." That's the precept right there. So, dog, you being overly technical. No, it says, "Come out of her." Now we getting delivered. Look, man, the angel said, "Come out of her." That's the deliverance, bro.
The scriptures even tell you got to be more willing to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools in the house of the Most High. So when you come up, we're really not up here to debate you or prove that what we're saying is right versus you. We don't have to prove anything. But the scriptures does say prove all things, so we're gonna go into the precepts by virtue of us being out here. But as far as proving something to a nigga that can't get it, we're not entitled to be taught. We come out here to prove these things to the elect, so that the elect could be edified week by week. Not so that niggas can get it, not so that the house of consciousness can convert to being Hebrews.
Right.
Like I posted that one picture, you got the nigga, his username is Kemetic Hebrew.
Yeah.
Like you a damn dummy, man.
Yeah,
You obviously don't get what this truth is about.
Yeah. And that proves your point, because Sonetta basically said after, I'm always gonna be Kemet. So that just proves you shouldn't have been trying to convince this guy.
That's why the scriptures say, man, answer not a fool according to his folly, man.
Right.
Because if them dudes was really up for the bait, or if them dudes was really about getting converted, they wouldn't be coming out there with their own cameras, man. You know what I'm saying? They just come up there and listen. They planned that. That was a planned thing because like the Apostle said, he said, man, them guys were sent up there, man. And coincidentally, you know, they linked up with that other clown, which we speculate they may know each other, but you know, the Spirit revealed all things. But regardless of it, they got confounded, man. Because you can't deal with the man of the Lord. Because, hey, we got the knowledge of these scriptures, man. Like if he came up here, the same thing would have happened. He would have got confounded, man. Because, hey, we all speak the same thing. You know?
That's right. And just read that again. That precept. This is Revelation chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven. It said, another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partaker of her sins, and that ye not receive not her plagues. We go back to 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and 16. For Yahawah himself shall ascend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of Yahawah, and the dead and the Mashiach shall first rise.
Right, and that voice can be, hey, come out of her, my people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's just those two just perfectly line up together.
I had a precept up.
And then it said, then it gives you specifically what's happening. It says they were taken up into the clouds. So it's a deliverance, man. It's very easy to understand. Only a dumbass nigga that's intentionally trying to come against his truth won't be able to grasp that. When he grasps, he just doesn't care.
And you have dudes come up through the Spirit. You just came up just to get condemned. The Lord made you do. You didn't prove anything. There was no battle won or lost on your part. You just sealed yourself to be destroyed unless you repent. Because the Lord would have dudes that ain't right take certain actions just so you could get a particular judgment. So whereas this dude would have just got hit with a missile before, now you gonna get tortured in the FEMA camp as well, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because he was highly contentious because you notice he was trying to ask things and get brothers trapped up in that word. So what about this? What about that? Because low key, when a guy does that, instead of humbly saying, look, I'm really trying to learn, his pride won't allow him to do that. So therefore it remains a stumbling block to him. Because now it becomes pissing contest. That's why
it's pride.
Yeah. That's why the scriptures say that wisdom cannot enter to a malicious soul. Because if he came up in the right spirit of being content on learning, then he would have understood it if the spirit moved on him. But he was so busy trying to prove his point, you know, and pull his rod out and piss to the point you got made look stupid, man. That's why the scriptures say, shut your damn mouth. Because we're the teachers up here. If you don't know what you're talking about, then keep it pushing. Like last week when we had that altercation with that Edomite dude, man. He was trying to debate us on whether the Lord was a so-called black man or not, man. Look, at the end of the day, the scriptures prove he was. We don't care what you got to say because the scriptures is true.
Right.
You just a man that just coming up in your folly. But our information is backed up by this holy Bible and the artifacts that goes along with it. Because including with the Bible, you have secular history as well that you have to learn and understand, man. Okay?
What you got, bro? Luke 21, 15. This is Luke 21 and 15. It says, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. Oh, well, basically that's the mouth that YAHAWASHI have given us, which is through the understanding of the scriptures. Because really, I mean, who can really say that they can come up and prove that we're wrong besides them just making an argument out of everything or having a shout match and shit? Like niggas that think that they're right or they won a debate just because they're yelling or something like that. But really, I mean, you get to the meat of the issues, we can't be proven wrong on any point. You see? That's why a lot of times the scoffers, they gotta doctor up videos, they gotta edit shit and do all this other shit, this witchcraft, just to make themselves seem favorable. Because in an open discussion, you're gonna get crushed every time. You know? And we say that humbly, but it's the truth. It's just the truth. Because we speak the knowledge directly from the creator of the universe, man. What really can you say against that? What really do you gotta say against that? You can't say nothing, man.
Well, hey, this is the book of Vinny, brother. Let me bring this out real quick, which proves what the brother was saying. This is the book of Acts 17, and I'm gonna start at verses 17. Acts 17 and 17. It says, therefore disputed he in the synagogue with the Jews and with the devout persons, and in the market daily with them that met with them. So you got to understand that we always had in a agora, we always had battles and going back and forth because guys would come up and want to know. Then you got guys coming with their guys. It's equivalent to what the black and conscious community do. And when scoffers walk by, they come up, hey, what is this, what is that? Because even at this camp, we dealt with Christians, we dealt with Muslims, we dealt with fucking Moors, and we confounded each and every last one of them. We even dealt with other Israelites and confounded them. Atheists, yeah. And it reads here, and it says, then certain philosophers of the Epicureans and of the Stoics will be more considered Stoic, because Stoics is basically just a particular belief structure that people really, that's just what they're about. Epicureans is more like pleasure seekers, like the liberal movement here in America.
Like
that's the Epicureans. We're more like Stoics, right?
Yeah, Stoics are more hardened. They're more about a simple life. But you got hardcore Stoics that were bug outs. Like you got one dude that said your life got to be so hard. You got to like sleep on beds and nails and shit. It's just going to the extreme. All the way off, yeah. You know what I mean? But still,
yeah.
You know,
like one
we're a little more on the Stoic side because we're not here to fulfill our pleasures. You know,
that's right.
We're satisfied in a simple life.
Yeah.
That's another thing, Jake. You gotta learn how to be satisfied with your life, man. You gotta take it as it is. The scriptures say, hey man, which man that war to tangle his things with the world, or with the things thereof. So you gotta have a mindset of, yeah, I may want to do things of the world to gratify my flesh at times, but overall, you gotta stick to the script, man. You gotta go through the tight line. Like they say, it's a thin line between love and hate. You gotta walk that line, man.
Like this show, Evil, I put brothers on and stuff, but the main character, his name is David. He's a Catholic priest or whatever. He's a nigga, you know, he's off, but the dude, he literally sleeps in like a fucking loft in a shack on top of a goddamn, I forget what them things is called, but it's like a bed made of hay and shit, man. That's what he sleeps on top of. He doesn't even have a room, you know?
Yeah.
Well, who would be considered a Stoic too is like Marcus Aurelius.
Right.
He would be considered Stoic. If you look at the quotes, he had quotes of wisdom and graft in the mind with positive thoughts. Like the first thing brothers should do, man, and I'm telling y'all, it goes a long way. When you wake up, like the apostle said, you got to learn to catch the hell that you catching. You know what I'm saying? And that's how the women's supposed to be behind they men. Right. Covered up. They supposed to walk behind the man. Yeah, dressing.
Off with the pants.
Yeah. She got Instagram and shit secretly.
Con.
You know, and a lot of them be committing adultery too when they come over here to America. But if that was two black women, they wouldn't let that guy walk ahead of them.
Right.
You know? But anyway, going back to what I was saying, you got to tell yourself this, man. Every morning you wake up, praise YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, man. Say the water, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI for waking me up. This truth, having an understanding with this on your spirit, okay? With the mindset, thanking the Lord for the hell. Because this hell is what keeps you wanting more to get delivered. And it keeps you fighting for the prize, man.
Yeah.
Like Paul, what he had a thorn in his side, prayed to the Lord, 3 times, and he couldn't get rid of it. But Paul thanked the Lord in his infirmities.
Yeah. It puts you in this, catching hell, puts you in the spirit of making haste.
Yep.
Making haste toward the Lord, getting you up out of here versus being lax and comfortable. Now you're not really looking. You don't really desire the day of the Lord.
Yeah, that's like a brother said it perfectly. He said it makes sense that our women are coming against us because if you had your woman, it proves the heathens are in power. Because if you had your woman in order on this side, it wouldn't be that bad. It wouldn't be that bad. You see what I'm saying? If your woman was submissive to you and did everything you wanted her to do, it wouldn't be that bad here. But you see, the balance of it comes in slavery. We had our women to a certain degree. They separated, but what was the bitterness of it? Getting the shit beat out of you.
Right,
couldn't have your way. Now, years later, now we have what they call alleged freedom, but the woman is out of order now.
Right.
So it's always the duality of that judgment, man.
Right.
So you gotta appreciate the hell you catch. You gotta like it, man. You know? And of course there are variables, you know, situations, things get unbearable. You go on a fast and you ask the Lord to give you understanding of your situation. But overall, man, you gotta embrace that fire, man. Because hey, you gotta be tried, like we all. And if you're running away from the hell, then you're not gonna be waiting for when it meets you. You know?
Yeah. You're more likely to fold when the pressure comes on.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why the apostles always say, man, a lot of them guys, man, they just going through the motions. You can't go through the motions in this truth. Because when you go through the motions, it's just like, all right, what's next? And then when the real test comes, then hey, you out there, man.
Yeah.
Like, shit, what's the reason why a bird gets thrown out of the nest? We went into this last night. What's the reason why a bird gets thrown out of the nest? Anybody know?
Test the wings.
Okay.
They're ready to fly.
Yeah. Even if they're not ready to, they have to. Because if they don't fly, what's going to happen?
They die.
They don't hit the ground. So think of Jacob's trouble as being thrown out the nest.
Yeah.
Getting thrown out there, man, you're gonna have to fly. All right? But anyway, getting back to the point, reading down, it says here, and then certain philosophers of the Epicureans and of the Stoics encountered him, and some say, what would this babbler say? Now, if y'all paid attention to Sarnetta's comment board when he was debating with the brothers, he even said on his page that that was one of the most PC breakdowns. I mean, it was just straightforward. It wasn't any really arguing. It wasn't any disrespect. The brothers were breaking it down beautifully, and yet motherfuckers were still scoffing, man. Yeah. This one chick get on there like, oh man, so what is the penalty for the victim? What happens to the victim? The brother just broke it down and told you that. Look, if the man get caught raping a woman and she cry out, the fucking abuser gets put to death.
Right.
There's a law for these things, man. That's why you have a law on rape in case X, Y, and Z happens.
Yeah.
Go to
we live in a pussy begging society, man. That's why, see, you notice a lot of the contentions that niggas have with the scriptures it has to do with the female.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Because this world is backwards. They're more willing to cater to females because females got all this goddamn liberty in this society, man. Yeah. When the scriptures is about putting the female nature in check, putting a woman in submission under a man. So now a woman feels entitled. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like that. Bitch, it's not about what you like. You think we give a fuck about what you like? The Lord don't care about what we like. How much more you? Stinking hoe.
And you know what's so funny about that too? Because the brother clearly said that was not the traditional way of getting a woman.
Yeah.
That was not the traditional way, okay? That went right over them idiots' heads. They looking at the offense that this nigga brought up rape. Sarnetta brought up rape in the Bible, and when you use that big rape word, that R word, that's when the emotions started getting tense. That's when people started making conclusions in their mind.
Right.
Besides, instead of just shutting the hell up and listening, let it come out. Let it come out, we can break it down to you. You see, niggas have to have an excuse to stay in a dark state of mind, man, because they don't want to be edified on an outside of the norm. Right. They don't want to be edified with that. They want to be edified and be one with the people of the world. Because their problem is they're trying to figure out how to incorporate Eastern philosophy with Western ideology, man. And they don't mix. And we tell people all the time, if you're reading the Bible from a Western perspective, you're not going to understand this doctrine. You're not going to get it. Prime example, right? I was reading a story in Judges when they had the civil war in Israel, when he chopped his concubine up and sent it to 12 parts. That started a fucking civil war.
Right.
Tribe of Benjamin were cut down to 600 men. Yeah. Now, when I was reading that, and if I was like in a simp mindset, I would be mad like, damn, they really chopped this woman up. And they really raped the daughters of Shiloh to bring back their nation. Right. You would be emotional like, damn. But with us, we read it, it's just like, okay, it's in the word of the Most High. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is. It don't bother me when rape is in the Bible. That don't bother us, man, because we know.
Yeah.
You know?
This truth gives you a manly spirit back.
Yeah.
That's what's wrong with a majority of jakes in the world. You emasculated, man.
That's right.
You emasculating and you're not in a manly spirit. Men are hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Men rub their balls, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But you niggas, you're too, you've been around these Edomites too long.